sun's out.
Eh?
And the sun came out.
I know. It's nice. Hi, everyone.
Hey guys, Saturday again, market day.
Yeah,
And here we are.
we're here today. We just been to the market and we just said our routine. You know, we go to the market, come back, have some coffee, sit out here and drink tea with what?
With whatever we have.
Hey, you love croissants.
I like croissants, but I have one of them.
You introduced me to croissants.
Yeah, okay, well it's Saturday, so we're allowed to have one. That's the rule.
Yeah, well,
On a Saturday, croissants and coffee. So, what we want to talk about is what, Angie?
I thought we'd talk about weight loss today.
Alright, let's do that. So that's a big topic, but we can get into it.
Yeah, I think there's lots of misconception about weight loss out there, where it becomes really uncomfortable for people really living a really sad life of diets and restrictions and all that. And I mean, I've done that before, and to be honest, it's nothing that I wish for anyone to go through. What is weight loss? What happens with
How do you make it happen?
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, there's a lot of different theories about how people lose weight, and in my clinic, my understanding of weight loss is not about calories, and it's not about, you know, burning more calories than you consume. This is a very sort of old school, out of date theory, and not a terribly effective theory, because you're kind of working against how the body works naturally.
So how does the body work? Is it different for everyone? Because I find myself, you know, I feel like I have got fatty genes where no matter how I was trying to lose weight and look a certain way, it is probably almost impossible. But which I had to come to a realization. So what does that have anything to do with how you're built? Or?
It does have a little bit to do with it. So people have different genes, and some people are much better at storing fat than other people. So, you know, using us as an example,
Yeah.
your genes, obviously, you're quite good at heading on to fat and adipose tissue and turning food into fat for storage.
Yeah.
When someone like me, who's traditionally very thin, I struggle to do that. It doesn't really matter how much I eat. I can put on weight, but it's very, very difficult because my metabolism is quite quick, which means I burn a lot of energy even at rest. That's what metabolism really means.
So what's the difference with, what's the connection between weight loss and metabolism? Because I've read people say, or I've read that, you know, if you have a fast metabolism, then you burn fat quickly and you lose weight quickly. But
no, not really. So even the term metabolism is metabolism means that you take up as nutrition. That's actually what the word the word means. So if someone like me has a fast metabolism, and what they're measuring with metabolism is how much calories you're burning, even when you're resting. So someone like me, chews through things very quickly. When someone with a slower metabolism is not going to do that even when they're at rest. So they're going to want to hang on to food much more readily than somebody like me, or convert that into fat a lot more easily. And this is it's partly a genetic thing, and it's a survival mechanism in humans.
So do you think genetics can be changed? If I'm from a, you know, pretty much big family, do you think I can change that?
You can change that. What that really means is that if you make the wrong dietary choices, your body will put on fat very quickly and hang on to it. And you have to kind of understand how that works. So it doesn't mean that you can't lose weight. It just means you need to be very careful with your food choices, because if you make the wrong choice and you're having too many sort of refined carbs or things that break down into sugar and then get converted into fat, you'll do that very easily and quickly.
Yeah.
And a lot of African people have that trait, and a lot of people with what they call, you know, bigger genes have this characteristic, and like I say, it's a survival
So
mechanism.
it's to do with the environment of your body. What you can control that with the.
You certainly can control it. So the environment controls the genes. It's not just about the genes itself. And the example I use in clinic is, say, if your mum has cancer, it doesn't mean that you're going to get cancer. It means that you carry the genes for that, and the likelihood of developing that is increased if you make the wrong choices, which is make the wrong environmental decisions, which is your nutrition. So because you can turn genes on with food, or you can switch them off, and this is quite a well understood mechanism.
So what you talked about storing fat. So if your genes are very good at storing fat, how can you burn that fat? Do you eat more fat then? Well,
exactly. So you do the opposite to what most people think.
No, but I would think that
I know,
eat
but
everyone thinks that.
Everyone thinks that.
That's going to make me more fat.
But that's not what happens with the body, and this has been badly understood for 50 or 60 years, and that is not what happens. So there is a difference between refined carbohydrates, which is bread and pasta and rice and that kind of thing, because what you're doing to the body when you put that into the body, and you have enough energy, your body's going to have excess calories, and you're going to convert that and store that as fat. The body's going to say, I've got enough energy now, the cells are full, what am I going to do with all this extra carbohydrate? Oh no, I'll just turn it into fat and store it over there and pack it full of. And that's the opposite to what people think.
But you have to use that energy somehow, besides eating well. I guess you have to exercise, move, get moving, and
exercise helps, but exercise is not the thing that is going to make people lose weight long term. That's kind of pretty clearly been proven. So it seems like it's against rationale, but exactly like you're saying. So what you're holding here is a high fat food, an avocado, with a bit of protein in. But if you want to burn fat, you've got to make your body run on fat. You don't store dietary fat as body fat. It's a very badly understood concept in human nutrition, because everyone thinks, fat's the problem, therefore I can't eat fat because it'll make me fatter, and that is not how the body works.
Are there some people who are very good at storing fat, and some people who are very good
at burning that?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what you talked about when you touched on the fatty genes, which doesn't really, it's not really a technical term, but some people think that. So genes do run in families, and you've got a propensity, or people with these genes, they're very good at converting anything that they eat into fat cells.
I guess at the end of the day, it's just how comfortable you're going to be with how you look, and as long as you know what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, keeping a healthy weight. And because you are eating the right foods, but when it comes to then losing weight, I guess that's another thing.
Yeah, so the body is going to be, I'm never going to be morbidly obese. That's not going to happen. It doesn't really matter how much I eat. My genes are going to work against that. And people that are bigger are probably never going to be super skinny either. You have to kind of understand that. Now that doesn't mean that I can't get bigger or they can't get smaller. But you've got to be realistic about the way your body actually works and how it functions.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be realistic. I think we will stop here today. This is just part of
introduction. We're going to do a few of these because it's a big technical conversation. But so understanding the basics of carbohydrates are important. So if we look at refined carbohydrates, here's an example. This is bread. This is very easy to get converted into fat and stored in the body. All of this stuff on the table, more or less, is carbohydrate. When people just say carbohydrates are bad, that isn't actually the truth, because all fruit and vegetable are carbohydrates.
There's lots of
at the front, we've got beans, which are more of a protein than a carbohydrate. But if you look at the corn, cauliflower, celery, tomatoes, all
carrots.
This is carbohydrate, including
Look
the
how these
passion fruit.
carrots are interesting.
Rainbow carrots.
Purple, yellow, white.
So carbs aren't bad.
So interesting.
And it's very hard to become obese eating these kind of carbohydrates, because some of them are much healthier than others. And that's because this has a lot of fibre in. These plant foods have a lot of fibre in, and they're not purely carbohydrate. This is a much higher percentage of carbohydrate.
It's processed. That's the other thing.
And it's processed. So
and these
not
are
so much
real.
fibre.
Yeah, they're natural.
And so, and that's going to be much better for you. So all carbs are not bad. Including mushrooms, they're also a carbohydrate and protein mix. Most foods are. They're not just purely carbohydrate or protein or fat. They're a combination of of
So
sucralose.
mixing your carbohydrates with your fats, that's another dangerous thing, I think.
Yeah, again, there's good fats and there's bad fats. And
Okay, we're not going to go into that
it does
now.
get technical.
Yeah.
We'll do that in another time.
So
but this is a basic introduction to weight loss, understanding a little bit about carbohydrates, and which ones are the good ones and which ones are the problematic ones.
Yeah. So we'll come back to you guys. If you have any comments, please comments and questions. Ben is here to help you. He's a qualified nutritionist. He's a qualified Chinese medical doctor. So fire away and ask. We're here to help.
Have a good Saturday. See you next time. Bye, guys.
What if we're not taking?
Fuck, I hope you were taking.